Two powerhouse editing tools, both redefining creative workflows. Final Cut Pro versus Descript. Which one really delivers? On the left, Final Cut Pro, professional-grade video editing exclusive to Mac. On the right, Descript, AI-powered, text-based editing aimed at making audio and video edits a breeze for everyone. Let's skip the industry jargon and dive straight into what matters for creators. Each round will award points, and by the end, you'll see exactly who deserves your attention in 2025. The result might just challenge everything you expect about editing workflows. All right, before we get into the nitty-gritty, let me show you the lay of the land. Here are all the categories we're breaking down: price, performance and editing power, AI and workflow automation, platform and ecosystem, ease of use, and collaboration and sharing. Got it? Cool. Let's jump into the first round. Okay, let's kick things off with price, which is usually like the first thing we obsess over anyway, right? So, Final Cut Pro. You pay once, it's yours forever. There's no sneaky monthly fees, and you get lifetime access. The catch? Well, honestly, the upfront cost is kinda steep at $299.99, and it works only on Macs. Now, Descript flips things on its head. There's a free basic tier, and if you want to unlock advanced stuff, it's a pretty chill subscription, like $30 a month for pro features. There's even a pay-as-you-go model for teams. But heads up, those monthly fees can creep up if you use the advanced AI tools a lot. Still, when it comes to price and flexibility, Descript easily takes this round. Now, let's talk about straight-up editing power. Final Cut Pro is sort of legendary here. Multicam editing, pro color grading, tons of slick effects. It's all super optimized if you've got a beefy new Mac, especially with that new Apple Silicon. But let's be honest, the learning curve is kind of brutal if you're new. And for quick projects, it might feel like bringing a tank to a snowball fight, you know? On the other hand, Descript is such a breeze for simple stuff. Cutting out rough bits is crazy fast, especially for podcasts or YouTube. Just edit the words and poof, your video's done. But don't expect any fancy color grading or complicated multicam stuff. So you get power versus simplicity. For sheer professional muscle, Final Cut Pro wins this round. Moving over to AI and workflow magic. This is where things start getting interesting. Final Cut Pro has some smart touches like using Apple's ecosystem stuff. AirDrop and Sidecar are neat. But honestly, there's not much in the way of true AI editing or voice tools. Descript, though? Oh, and here's something cool. Automatic transcription, edit by cutting text, real-time AI voice cloning, and noise reduction. All basically baked in. You can both record and slice up your content like you're working in Word. The only hiccup? Sometimes AI's not perfect, especially if you're using weird terms or jargon. So you've got to keep an eye out. But Descript just demolishes this category. Oh, and did you know? With Descript, if you want to cut a part out, you literally just delete that section from the transcript. It's like editing a Google Doc, but for your video. That's pretty wild. How about platforms and ecosystems? Final Cut Pro is deeply Apple. Like, it just loves your Mac, your AirPods, your iPad, all that good stuff. It's fast, integrated, feels premium. If you're all in on Mac, it's honestly hard to beat. But if you ever want to just open a project on a PC or Chromebook, forget it. Descript, though, works anywhere. Browser? Yep. Windows? Sure. Chromebooks? Absolutely. And with everything stored in the cloud, sharing is a breeze. No deep Apple integration, but that freedom to use whatever you want totally gives Descript the edge. All right, ease of use. If you've ever opened Final Cut Pro for the first time, you know the feeling. It's kind of overwhelming. Tons of pro features, loads of docs, but you really need to commit to learning. Descript, on the flip side, is so intuitive, it's almost funny. You literally just work with your words, drag stuff around, and don't really need any prior editing experience. It's built as much for podcasters and creators as for anyone who wants to jump into editing without feeling like you need a film school degree. So, compared side by side, Descript absolutely wins here for making editing super friendly. And finally, sharing and collaboration. Final Cut Pro is decent if you're sharing stuff in the Apple world, AirDrop, iCloud, yada yada, but team-based real-time collaboration? Nah. Descript, you can share, comment, get review links, and literally have your team working with you at the same time. The only catch, you'll want a solid internet connection. But still, for creators who work with others, Descript grabs this one easily. If we throw all these categories onto a chart, Descript starts to look like the Swiss Army knife for fast, collaborative, beginner-friendly editing. Final Cut Pro sits at the top for deep, powerful video work. But unless you need all those advanced features, Descript's just way more flexible for most creators. All right, here's my take. If you're making super complex, cinematic, multicam projects and want literally every Pro Tool at your fingertips, and you're deep in the Apple world, go Final Cut Pro. But if you're doing podcasts, YouTube, social video, want crazy easy collaboration, and don't want to get stuck in tech details, Descript is absolutely the move. Enjoyed this breakdown? Make sure to follow for more smart comparisons and creator tools. I've got plenty more coming your way.